I have tried to be a source of information with regards to Hulk Hogan's health. I just listened, something over the weekend where Jim Crockett, is that his name?
Jim Cornette?
Jim Cornette.
Oh, you listened to that?
He was killing me.
Yeah,
But meanwhile, Vince Russo, I listened to his, and he's like, listen, bro, hey, bro.
Vinny?
He's like, bro, I've always known Bubba to not have an agenda with regards to Hogan, and although they're not friends anymore, Bubba, if there's anybody who's got potentially an inside source and has nothing to gain, I would probably take Bubba's words a little more seriously, because nobody in the world is giving you updates on Hulk Hogan, including Hulk Hogan's people. Now, Hulk Hogan has like 7.7 million on Facebook. I don't know what he has on Instagram. I don't know what he has on X, but he's got tens of millions of people on his platforms. If you take X, you take Instagram, you take Facebook, and whatever else is out there, he has YouTube. I don't know if he has a very big YouTube channel or not.
I don't think so, no.
But if you take Instagram, X, and Facebook, he probably has 20 plus, if not 30 plus million people. And nobody is giving you any information with regards to his health. Now, when I first came out nearly 2 weeks ago and said that he's on his deathbed, he's not doing well, his reps, his spokespersons, and then Eric Bischoff all came out, called me a liar. The general consensus amongst everybody, including fans, is that I'm a fat piece of shiz liar. I'm a liar. And that I'm trying to do this to go viral, to get clicks, to what. I can assure you that I'm just trying to give you the information that nobody else has given you. And his camp is obviously not being honest. When his camp, their only statement, I think, Seth, the only statement that they've given, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the day of when I made the initial splash, they came out and said, Bubba is wrong, and this is not a heart or lung issue. This is a back and neck surgery procedure issue, and that's all it is. And he's lying. I think they said that.
Yeah, they haven't addressed anything else.
There's not been one other statement from them at all. Eric Bischoff doubled down then on the same day and said this was a cervical, a neck issue, and Bubba's wrong. Then Us Weekly came in, Lummy, and verified that it was a heart procedure.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, Us Weekly then came on, and then all of the rest of the world reported it, that indeed it was a heart procedure from a... And didn't they use the word kind of a...
It was a major heart heart surgery.
It was a major heart surgery.
But he wasn't on deathbed.
But he wasn't on deathbed.
Which is a very broad, subjective term.
Well, but
isn't on deathbed. What does that mean?
But Jay, here's the deal. So I say what I said, which was, he's not doing good. The family's been asked to gather around and say their goodbyes. Hogan is, in my opinion, from what I've been told, rumor has it that he might be on, close to being on death's doorstep. And Hogan's people come out immediately and say, Bubba's a liar. This is a neck issue. Eric Bischoff comes out and says the same thing. TMZ Lummy comes out and says the same thing. And then at 4 o'clock later that afternoon, Us Weekly comes out, digs a little deeper, gets somebody else to talk, and kind of validates what I said. So I didn't say anything. I caught a bunch of flack over that. Bubba's a piece of shiz. He's a liar. He let his wife, sleep with him. He's a no good piece of crap. He leaked the sex tape. Of course, he's trying to make a name for himself right now because everybody hates him. Hulk Hogan's fine. If you look at some of the comments, Lummy, you're like, I saw him yesterday walking the beach and all this kind of deal. Well, in that initial hate, which was about a week or so ago, Lummy, Missy Beefcake, and you saw it.
Yes.
She stated, Bubba's not wrong. I saw it. Did you?
Yeah, someone said about the hospital, and she said he's in there.
Yeah, and so when people are like, he's not in the hospital, Bubba's a fat piece of shit, he's irrelevant, is Bubba's even on the air? Is he still around? Oh, my God.
I love to hear that one.
She came on and said, Bubba's not wrong. Because I'm sure that, Brutus still has some insight to, what might potentially be happening. And so she comes out and says, I'm not wrong. So then last Friday, I get on the air and I elaborate more on his health condition. And here's the thing. You could take all of my whatever I'm trying to achieve here and completely debunk everything I could potentially be saying incorrectly from my sources if Hogan's people would just say something as to what's really happening. Listen, Hulk is still in the hospital. He had a good weekend this past weekend. He seems to be improving. His current condition is A, B, and C. But here's the thing. Hogan has to always play he can't ever be he has to be the immortal, strong, narcissistic, over-the-top megastar that can't be, oh my God, can't be hospitalized or show any weakness or anything like that. Whereas I think they're playing it wrong. You're lying, and eventually your lie is going to catch up to you because eventually he's either going to die or he's going to recover from this. But in recovering from this, you're going to have to tell the story of when he finally gets out of the hospital, which might be a month from now. From what I've been told, if he does recover from what's going on right now, it's at least a month from now. So what do you say August 1st when you finally are now back on the internet doing videos, healed or not, didn't die at least, but you're now back home. I'm sure that your first day back, you're not, going to Hogan's Beach Club for karaoke night. And, what do you say at that point?
Well, you know what 2 months of convalescing in a bed does to your body when you're a bodybuilder? I mean, he doesn't just come out. If this, like you're saying, if it takes another 30 days, August 1st, he's going to come out with significant weight loss. I mean, let me just talk generally.
Yeah.
A person who's convalescing for that long, meaning you're in a hospital, not active, you're going to lose a ton of muscle mass. You're going to lose a ton of body volume. You're going to come out skinny and unhealthy.
Frail.
And so I wish him the world the best because I don't like to see anybody suffer, but it certainly is an interesting thing and easy to refute, Bubba.
So,
because we could get a letter today. I could get one tomorrow, and I would say, okay, Bubba, here's the truth. And that would be it.
If I was so wrong, they know
send a letter.
His attorney, his main attorney is actually good friends with Jay.
We respect each other, and we're friends.
And have had correspondence. You guys correspond with each other.
We sure do.
And he would be saying, hey, you know what? You might want to tell Bubba that to shut it down because everything he's saying is a lie and it's not true.
None of it's coming from a malicious point of view either, what you're saying.
No, and I'm not trying to be malicious. I'm just trying to give the public, arguably he's still
public figure.
One of the most, well, he's certainly a public figure, but he's one of the most popular people in the world.
Newsworthy.
And so as I give the information that I've been given through my sources, I just catch all this hate. And you're lying because 2 weeks ago, and people keep going back to Even Hogan's people said he's okay. And let me, in some of the comments, have you seen? I Googled it.
Yeah, ChatGPT.
That's how they confirmed it.
I Googled it. ChatGPT says he's, due to be released any day.
I sent you his most recent Instagram photo, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, but which was what, from 2 years ago?
No. It was yesterday, but it's talking about today.
All right, hold on here.
It's just weird. It's him at the hangout his hangout.
You know what time it is. Hogan's hangout on Monday night is always ice cold. So they're just listen. I'm telling you, that wasn't taken. Like that's.
Well, they're talking about Monday night, which is tonight, but they posted it yesterday.
Was it a special at the place?
No.
So I'm just saying, like they're going. If you look at his, they're going.
That's yesterday's too.
Okay, right.
Yep. And they only post one a day, so they posted 2 in one day.
Now, this is I think, from Saturday.
Yeah.
And it's just all about promoting his beer. Well, and then this is people that they've signed with this new wrestling federation. Listen, you know what's more important right now than your beer and your startup wrestling promotion? Your health and your well-being. You got the entire world right now worried about your health.
What did Missy say about it?
Well, she
cuts you deep, Bubba.
She does. We'll get to it next. Okay. Friday, I make some very serious. I wouldn't say allegations. Some serious intel that I had received about the Hulk Hogan health situation, and please note, listen, if you guys want me to stop. Like just not giving you information that I'm getting in his current health situation, and you just want them to keep lying to you, and he's going to lay in a hotel in a hospital bed until 3, 4, 5 weeks from now when they finally release him, and you just want to be a bunch of ton wagon followers, then I'll just shut up. Because it seems like me giving you information, I'm either a liar. Or I'm a cuckold, or I am searching for clicks, or I'm just fake news. I'm a slime bag.
What are you reading all this stuff for?
Well, I'm just.
Yeah, you got to stay off of Reddit.
No, it's not.
This isn't Reddit.
It's not Reddit. This is my very own.
What?
This is my very own. Facebook page.
Yeah, it's Facebook.
I was going to say you can avoid this, but you can't.
No, I can't. This is the the 1,500 comments. As you scroll down through them, you're like, there's nobody that says, you know what? Thank you for keeping us updated, even though we hope you're wrong. And I've heard otherwise that what you're saying's not true. Thank you for giving us this information. There has been a few people say, listen guys, Hogan's people haven't refuted any of this. They only had a comment one day 2 weeks ago. All they're posting on all their social media is just old pictures from him promoting his beer. He has a huge social platform that he could debunk all of this by being honest. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And here's the other deal. Hogan, you're working it wrong. Everybody loves you. You're one of the most well beloved. Now I don't know if the current wrestling fan likes you as much as the guy my age, but you're very well loved. You're very well, beloved. And so they could be pulling for you. Instead of having to be Johnny narcissistic, I can't show that I'm having a tough time. I can't ever show my weak side. I got to always be on top. It's not good for the brand to show. But instead, what if they were like, yes, you know what? Hulk is in the hospital. He just got out of intensive care. By the way, Lummy, he has moved hospitals.
Oh.
So maybe he got stable enough to move hospitals.
That's good.
And here's our current condition that we're working on. I think people would be like, yeah, finally, some legitimate news about his health.
I'd go buy a 12-pack of American beer for him.
Well, here's the deal. You'd at least know what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to get your information from the fat-ass, not relevant anymore, shock jock that you don't really know, but you've been told to hate. And you're getting it right from Hogan. And people love to rally behind their favorite icon or hero that's in the hospital having a medical issue. I mean, my God, you might sell more beer than ever.
Yeah.
If they had him like, hey, brother, I just want to let you know, I just got off the Viz and a Lizator.
Go out there and drink a beer for me during this 4th of July because I can't have one.
I can't have any. Yeah, I mean, for real.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's pretty good.
He's got the case of beer right there, and he's all hooked up to these machines. Like, hey, brother, I just want to let you know I'm having a real tiz on right now in the hospital. I just got off the Viz and a Lizator. And if this July 4th I could be out there barbecuing with you and drinking the real American biz here, I would, but I can't. So for everybody out there, say your prayers for me. All
my Hulkamanias out there.
All my Hulkamanias, say your prayers for me because I'm not doing so good. And I'm hoping to be home soon. And don't listen to that Bubba guy because he doesn't know what he's talking about, brother.
You said he switched hospitals this weekend. I mean, that's got to be good news.
I don't know if he switched hospitals this weekend or it was late, like it was Friday. But they've switched hospitals. So I don't. Yeah. Again, that's kind of all I got. I have a lot more. I do have a lot more, but I can't say it. I have more information, but I can't say it. So, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, who Lummy hates Hogan, hates him.
Yeah.
Absolutely hates him. And this is why. Here's this isn't too long ago. And this is Beefcake, you need to get on the same page as your wife. Here's what Beefcake thinks of Hogan.
And then, it finally did happen. Hogan did the intro for me.
Talking about getting inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Went off script, started talking about this.
By the way, let me. If Hogan's, when he was posting and he was not hospital ridden, he was shooting on Brutus as a mid carder. I don't know if it's Seth or if you guys saw any of that. He was like the Raoul, some kind of French Canadian tag team. These guys belong in the Hall of Fame, and I know people that are in the Hall of Fame that were mid carders at best. That and he's talking about Brutus. He's actually shot on Brutus being in the Hall of Fame, where the Rougeau brothers or something like that should be in it, and he shoots on Hogan. He shoots on Brutus. Well, Brutus shoots back at him.
Zodiac.
Let me just hear you.
Script started talking about the Zodiac. The great Hulk Hogan. He couldn't even keep his head straight. Couldn't remember what he's supposed to say. And then, because we hadn't even been really talking before this thing happening, when Vince called me and said they're gonna put me in, and then Hogan called me and said, yeah, let's get together and talk about this stuff. And so he's trying to be my friend, and then he does the induction, announces me, and walks right off the stage, grabs his wife, and leaves. Doesn't even wait to hear my induction speech, just leaves, walks out. So I guess that tells you what kind of friend he really was.
Boom. That's your husband's take on things. Now, for him to have those take on things, and for you early on, Missy, to co-sign with me, early on, you were one of my backers in the comment section of the Facebook when I said the very first time that I said Hogan was in trouble and that he's in dire straits, you got on there and said, Bubba's not lying, he's in the hospital. Now, for her to do an about face tells me this, that the Hogan people have got a hold of her. They saw her maybe potentially comment on my Facebook posting, Lummy.
Yeah.
And they've got a hold of her and said, you need to position Bubba as a piece of shiz. and shoot on Bubba. The other thing is, she pretty much recants what I said last Friday. Remember, Lummy, where I said I went through the whole trial and how Jay and Kevin and those guys had positioned the judge, whereas if I had to go in there and testify during the Gawker, I was going to plead the fifth.
Yes.
And Kevin got it to where I didn't even have to show up. She just read on the record that I had to plead the fifth.
Kevin did or I did?
No, you did.
That's a big one.
I didn't mean.
So it's okay. Kevin did a lot, but that was a big one. I was very happy with that one.
I get you and Kevin messed up.
It's okay, because he's done some huge lifting too.
But this, you represented me this. You were there at depositions. During the depositions at Gawker, Hogan was giving me the office. Hogan actually had a conversation with Jay, in the parking lot. And so, I towed the line. I did a job clean in the middle. You
did not take the Fifth Amendment one time during your deposition that lasted probably 6 hours and all day long.
So I talked about this on Friday.
Yes, you did.
And so for her, this is her spin. I think this was just a couple days ago.
Okay, so I think that Bubba the Today Sponge needs to take it down a notch. Okay?
I think you need to find somebody to do better lip injections.
Maybe some sunscreen?
Because look at all the attention that he's getting.
See, this is it right here. They're mad. Hold on, because I'm getting attention on this issue, and her and Eddie are not.
These fake medical reports and known like his confidence people.
Wasn't it validated with my reports the first time when I said it was not a neck and back issue? Indeed, it was a heart procedure. Didn't Us Magazine pretty much validate what I said?
They sure did.
So, Missy, it's not fake. It's that you're not privy to it, and you're not getting any clicks out of it. That's what you're so mad about.
I think people are kayfabing Bubba. I think they're
she's using your language.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Make him look like a dick when Hulk Hogan pops up at WrestleMania 10,000, still immortal, and running wild. That's my opinion. So I know that Bubba gave the Hulkster his wife. He lied under oath, gave him the office, etc., when...
Never lied under oath.
Nope.
See, she's misconstruing when
That's
I was
factually
going... When I was going through the Gawker trial and Hogan was giving me the office, she was listening to the show.
Yes, she was.
And she just misinterpreted what I said.
He lied under oath, gave him the office, etc., when they were in court.
I love when people try to talk the business and they don't know what they're talking about.
The sex trafficking thing. But honestly, my advice to Bubba the Today Sponge and all the other news medias that are covering Bubba, come on now. You think Bubba's going to know? No,
How many charms is she wearing on her
Bubba
wrist?
knows.
Hold on. This is, at the end of the day, this is what she really wants you to know.
No. Ro will know before Bubba knows.
I don't know who Ro is.
Oh, is Ro her little side? Oh, my. The stupid with the glasses.
I don't know.
It's like her alter ego.
Is that what she put on the glasses? Is that like Ro will know?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
My goodness.
Hello.
Yo, Bubba.
Let me 2 phone calls and a quick break so I'm not too late for Joe. Yes, go ahead. So quickly, sir.
Yeah, this is Jeff, FTE from Philly. You were talking about the off-road and on-road diesel earlier, and I deliver both products out of the same truck, and one time I accidentally filled 20 18-wheelers with dyed diesel, and believe it or not, I never got caught. You know how much that fine would have been?
Oh, huge. I would have shut my mouth and just moved along.
That's exactly what I did. I had to get rid of the diesel regardless. So I said, well, I'll take my chances, see what happens, you know, because it would have came back on me because I was the one that delivered it, you know?
But you got lucky, my friend. I appreciate your call. Thank you for listening.
You got it.
Thank you. And finally, hello.
Hey, Bubba, it's Jim Lockwood, attorney over here in Michigan. Two things. Jay, I'm glad I get to talk to you. I admire you and your brother and the law firm and stuff you guys do down there. It's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm blind, and I have my own practice up here in Michigan and Indiana. I can help that guy out, possibly. He can go to my website, lockwoodlegal.com. But where's your cease and desist, Bubba? If all what you're saying is false, and they don't like you, why don't they just sue you?
Well, in Florida, it's called a 770.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
And so in Florida, in the media, it's called a 770. If somebody makes a statement that's not factual, potentially liable or slanderous, they'll issue a 770 to the broadcaster, or in my case, me through Jay, and then Jay would write a retraction.
You get 10 days to correct or retract, and then there's no claim.
Yeah. So that's what that procedurally here in Florida is how it would go down. And we've, they know Jay's counsel. Jay's accepted service for me on behalf of them before. So again, you're right. Like if I'm, so far left and wrong, then let's, where's my, like you would say, C&D and or 770.
I bet he had prior knowledge of his upcoming condition, and he didn't tell his investors of his new wrestling and his beer, and
oh, interesting.
That's why he can't reveal. If he does, they're going to say, well, "Wait a minute, we pumped all this money into your product." And
that's
now
interesting,
you're saying
isn't it?
that you had 90% blockage and you didn't tell us.
Yeah, why are they keeping it down?
Fraud.
Great
insight.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. That's why it is.
Great positioning. Yeah, you're right. They're going to be like, why didn't you disclose all this before we, put in $25 million of capital into your brand? Why didn't you disclose this?
Well, it's an interesting
You
idea.
have to disclose that. He is the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, without him, it's meaningless.
Man, appreciate your insight.
Yep, no problem, buddy.
By the way, real quick, Ro, I suppose, because is that little kid that did the little Hulk Hogan thing.
All right, so that kid, this little 7-year-old, he's gonna know, before I'm gonna know,
before you know, with all your connections to wrestling for the last 40 years.
My source would actually, all I'd have to do is tell you who my source is, and it would go from everybody hating me, Lummy, to everybody saying, oh man!
I know your source.
I know.
Yeah, they'd be apologizing.
They'd be like, "Oh my God, for real? That's your source? Oh Jesus! Well, maybe you're not so fat, and maybe you're not so wrong."